Okay, hello, it's Lissy. It is Saturday, October 26th. So this is welcome to my apartment tour. So I actually filmed the tour this morning, but I wasn't in view because I was, not looking great. I had just woken up. I mean, not just woken up, but I was still in my comfy attire, not showered, yada yada. But the place was relatively clean, and I was like, this is a good time to do it. So here's the intro. So I think to answer some questions I've gotten, the apartment in Boston is gone, finally. I would have gotten rid of the apartment in Boston over a year ago. However, once cancer struck, that derailed those plans. So I finally moved out over the summer. So that's done. This apartment I did buy. I've been, I don't know. I never bought a place in Boston. My rent was so cheap there. And then once I moved here and settled in, I knew my goal was I wanted to buy a place. And so I'm a homeowner here, which is very exciting. And then one thing I did want to talk to you about is, so I did the tour. I'll put that, at the end of this little chat. But I did work with a designer. Her name is Megan Hopp. She's super cute, loved working with her. She's based in Brooklyn. She's a one-woman show, and she and I were kindred design spirits. So I'll link her website, but if you look on her website, it's beautiful designs, more muted than my apartment is. And I think she and I both had fun with that. Because, I think a lot of people a more muted palette. I love muted. I think it's beautiful. But for me, coming into this, I didn't know what I really wanted until it started coming together. But I love all the color I have. So she and I worked really well together. She has it started out, we had a chat about, how she works. And so the process was she sent me a bunch of mood boards. Of different rooms, and I basically said yes to one, basically I would say yes or no to different either boards or aspects of the boards and tell her why so she could get an idea of my style. And I had invited her to my Pinterest boards so she knew the things I was liking. So then she said to me, she's like, I think the process with you will be quicker because I can see your distinct style. She's like, you're pretty consistent in what you like. So then she would send me we started with bigger pieces the sofa, some of the the main chairs, the dining table, the bed. Maybe we didn't do the bed first, but she started with big pieces. She sent me options of each of those, maybe 5 options of each, and then I would yay or nay them, and kind of that's how the process went for everything. And then once most stuff was done, as there were holes, once I was living in it, I'd say to her oh, that wall over there looks that looks emptier over there than I expected it to be, so we should do something, and she would agree. And she and I just were literally on the same page. The plant behind me, she was over here one day, I can't recall why, but she was over here, and we were talking about the holes, that I had, I said, there's a hole over here, whatever, anyway. So she thought the same thing. And literally that very day, I had been online looking at plants, house plants. And she was like, maybe a plant in that corner would be nice. I'm like, mind blown. So anyway, so that was the process of working with her. And I really, really enjoyed it. So I guess that's it. I guess that's the intro to my home tour. I'll insert the tour now. Is there anything else? I guess before I do, we can take a quick look at the getup. Okay, so I'm wearing this Balmain blazer, an Adam Lips blouse, 3x1 jeans, Dior booties, and I'm gonna carry my Chanel bag. So this is the getup of the day, because tonight I'm gonna meet my brother, sister, and brother-in-law. We're gonna have cocktails and oysters. Then we're going to see Jerry Seinfeld at the Beacon Theater. And then we're going to dinner after. And tomorrow morning I'm supposed to be leaving for Miami, but I had a feeling this was gonna happen. I got an alert from Delta saying there's gonna be inclement weather in New York City. If you wanna rebook your flight, you can. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. Anyway, that's the story. So I hope you enjoy the house tour. See you soon. Okay, this is my take 2 of my apartment tour because I felt upon review like it was too shaky. So let's try it again. So this is where you enter my apartment. And to the left, I have these lovely 3 closets and then very high closets. So this apartment has pretty high ceilings. I think they're like 10 to 11 feet. Like for reference, like, you know, my hand reaches just to the bottom of the top closet, so they're pretty high. I redid most of the closets in the apartment, except these 2 are just basic coat closets. And then this one, I redid the shelving inside to be for shoes and bags. And then I redid the lighting in the whole apartment. So the entryway lighting is this little sconce from, I think this was from Anthropology. Okay, so then as you enter the apartment, immediately to the right, I have this very large, I'm gonna try to stay out of the frame because I'm not looking too pretty today, but this very large Anthropology mirror, which is, I believe, 7 feet tall by 5 feet wide. To the left, you have my living, like, sitting area. Like, and right here, I have a 65-inch TV and this amazing, amazing Jonathan Adler Credenza, which I love so much. And I love the multiple colors in it and the way they pick up all the different colors in my whole apartment. So this, I feel like, allowed me to have a lot of colors without it looking, I don't know, like I have a lot of color, but it still looks like it all goes together. And this credenza is also great because it's just a lovely place to, you know, hide things I want to keep out of sight. So there's a middle cabinet, and then on either side are drawers. Okay, then my sitting area, you can see straight ahead. That's my Molly D piece of, like, my print that I had in my apartment in Boston. And I love, again, how these colors just blend so well with the other colors in my apartment. This is an amazing light from a place called Lula and Georgia, something like that. I love this light. My couch is from Anthropology, and I went through multiple couch sofas. I chose one, then I decided not to get it because it looked like it was going to take too long, and then I chose it, like literally the one I initially wanted was going to take 16 to 18 weeks. Then I found one that was going to take something more reasonable, like, I don't know, 8 to 10 weeks. And then 2 weeks in, they were like, oh, delay. So then we went back to the drawing board and found this one. So anyway, that is a sofa from Anthropology, a bunch of fun, like, pillows. Also, I got myself this amazing, amazing, amazing Hermes throw blanket. These little rose gold lamps are more to look pretty than for function. I mean, they work, but they're very dimly lit and they kind of throw off rose gold light. So they're just really for mood and just to look beautiful. Let's see. This coffee table, I love everything in my apartment, so I can just stop saying that. But the coffee table is from a place called Bend Goods. I initially started out with only one of these little leopard ottomans. The initial plan was this chair that I'm pointing to here was going to be here, and then I was going to have one ottoman there. But then once I got the chair, I decided I liked that chair there because occasionally I would turn it around to watch TV here. So then once I got the ottoman and there was only one, this whole area looked to me like empty. So we got the other ottoman and then added this round mirror, which I Also love, because when I'm sitting in other parts of the apartment, like I can see, you know, the reflection of all the beautiful, like of how beautiful my apartment is. This wallpaper is from Jonathan Adler. It's like gold splattered. Initially, I couldn't find it, like to buy it. Apparently, I think they discontinued it, and I think I got the very last 6 or 8 rolls or however many they had. This little nook here, so when the people that owned this apartment before me bought it, we'll get to the kitchen, but you can see the kitchen is open. The kitchen used to be enclosed here, and I think this was the doorway to the kitchen. So instead they made it this little nook. There's some cabinets here, and then I've got like a bunch of decorative like fashion books. That black and white object is like a box. You know, fashion books and pictures and things like that. So then as we leave the kind of, oh, this chair is, I believe this chair is from West Elm, and that's a Jonathan Adler pillow that I've had for a really long time. So then back to the amazing Anthropologie mirror. So then I have this other little sitting area over here. Oh, this rug down here, I think is from Horchow Collection. And this pink scalloped rug is, I believe also, also from Anthropologie. Those chairs are from Anthropologie. I didn't initially get this little poof thing, but again, like once I had this set up here, I decided I wanted something else here. And this, I was initially gonna get one of these, this really cool fringed ottoman from a place called Muna Design, but I think it's based in Portugal, and it was kind of like, I don't know, it was gonna take forever and a day, and then I found this on Houtique or something like that. So anyway, this little accent table is from Jonathan Adler, and then I have kind of strewn across the apartment these coasters, which are from Jonathan Adler. Again, this was a wall that initially, like, I had the mirror and then we got into my dining room and I didn't initially have anything here, but I felt like it was too empty. So that is a gray Malin print, and I love it. It's kind of supposed to be like reminiscent of the heyday of like flying when it was glamorous and all that. So it was like, you know, the view out your airplane window with a cocktail in hand, and I just love it. Also, I love these little sconces. Like, they look like little pearls encrusted in gold. I just love them. This I had in my old apartment. It's another Molly D print. And then we get to my little dining area. This is a tulip table from Rove Concepts. And the design of the tulip table, I think it's from the 60s. The design, and the original design was by a guy called, I'm not going to pronounce his name right, Serenian or something like that. But anyway, the concept is when you have a table like this, you don't have legs that get in your way underneath when you're sitting there, and I agree, I love it. Then the chairs were, I went back and forth on a lot of chairs. I had initially ordered these super cool lucite chair, like high back chairs with like pink cushions, but those were going to take forever and a day also, so I canceled that, and these came from West Elm. This came from, actually this came from the place where I was initially got the other pink chairs and decided against, but this is from, it's called Mod Shop, and another one is coming. So this one happened to be available in the showroom at the time I ordered it. So I literally went and picked it up. So I have this one leopard chair. I'm going to have another leopard chair on that end. And then I have this table. I have this lovely, I believe this plant is a bird of paradise. And my pink and yellow curtains are just, I'm so pleased with the colors. My kitchen, I have a little, counter area, and these stools are from CB2. And then the kitchen is the kitchen. I didn't have to do anything in here when I bought the apartment. Like, I painted and wallpapered and changed lighting everywhere else. Oh yes, and speaking of lighting, another amazing light fixture. I can't recall where I got that one, but everything I can find, I'll link below. But anyway, I love this kitchen. It's really, I love the open concept. There's so much cabinet space there. And then here, and again, you know, I have the cabinets all the way up to the high ceilings. I also have these little open shelves here, and I have a bunch of Jonathan Adler vases, 2 of which I've had. The 2 on the left I've had for a long, long time, and the 2 on the right are new. And then I have a little coffee urn, little rose gold and glass, that my mother bought. I don't drink coffee, but she does, and when she comes to visit, she uses that to make her coffee. And then I bought this cool bottle, it's called Brooklyn Gin, and when I finished the bottle, it's like a really heavy, beautiful bottle. I was like, I can't throw that away, and so I put that there. And then up at the top, I have some space for more like decorative things, but way up there, those yellow, I got those in Italy a long time ago, these yellow oil and vinegar like crucets. And then I also have a little shelf for like cookbooks and things. So this is the kitchen. And then I also got, this is a bar cabinet. I initially was gonna get a bar cart, and I'm glad I didn't, because I prefer to have this, like I don't have to worry about things getting dusty, or like they don't have to look perfect all the time, but I can still store everything I need. These 2 glasses are Murano glass from one of my trips to Italy a very long time ago. This vase is a beautiful vase that Sandy gave me from, oh God, it's a beautiful, I can't remember the name. A glassmaker in Vermont, but it's not an, you know, it's not, I'll put it below because I can't think of it right now. And this is just a hydrangea that I had in a bouquet that just dried out nicely. These 2 prints my friend Heather gave me. That is Nantucket, and that is the South End, which was my neighborhood in Boston, and I had them framed in these clear and like white kind of, I guess they're like lucite frames, and I think they look cool. Okay, now this is my like a little hallway. I have a life-changing utility closet. Like, imagine having all this storage. Plus, I have a little storage shed in the basement of the building. I have this gallery wall here. Oh, and another light. This also from Jonathan Adler. Straight ahead is a little doorway that leads to my washer and dryer, which every house tour from New York that I watch says, oh my gosh, I'm so lucky to have a washer and dryer. No apartments in New York City have them. And I always think, why do I hear that all the time? But nevertheless, I'm very lucky to have a washer and dryer. And then this is my powder room, which was initially like all white. And I figured in a small space, you can really go bold. And I love, this is the same wallpaper. It's called Brazilians by Dorothy Draper. It's the same wallpaper that they use throughout the Beverly Hills Hotel and also the Colony Hotel in Palm Beach. And since those are 2 places I love to go and have good memories for me, I hemmed and hawed over a bunch of very bold wallpaper for the powder room, but this one just, you know, it held like, it was like a personal thing for me. So anyway, and then the ceiling is painted a very glossy green, and so actually is the door, inside of the door. Okay, then on to the bedroom. Okay, so I have this very lovely bedroom. I have 3 closets in here. So this closet is, I think, my favorite one. It has more shoes. All of these drawers are like jewelry drawers, and so being able to just have things where I can actually see them is so, what a brilliant concept, but I've never had that before. And then I have jeans and sweaters folded. Tucked away in the corner here, in this little nook, this is a mirrored chest that I had in my last apartment. And those are 2 just decorative urns. And then I have this other corner here, which just has my like little hamper. And then I found this, I had this print tucked away somewhere. And, you know, I've had it for I don't know how many years. Like, I never did anything with it. And then I found it just the other day, and I thought, well, this would be great in this little nook. So there it is. And then, oh, pardon the little, I was unpacking from my Miami trip. But here's my bed. The bed itself is from Serena and Lily, and it's this kind of dusty blue washed linen. Like, it's tweedy. And the duvet is from Restoration Hardware. I can't recall where these are kind of like furry pillows. I think these might also be from Restoration Hardware. And then this big roll pillow is from Etsy. That X bench I love. That's another thing I added kind of after I got the bedroom all together, and I was like, oh, that would be cute to have right there. I initially had an old mirrored dresser in Boston, and I brought that here, but it was much smaller. It was probably half the size of that, and the scale just looked off. So I got rid of that and got this dresser instead. And then I have a little beautiful little sitting area over there. That chair is from One Kings Lane and is super comfortable. Like, those cushions are so comfy. And then here I have like all my fragrance, some family and friend photos, 2 more closets which both have like hanging stuff in them. The left one has like hanging long stuff and trousers, and the right one has 2 rods. Nothing too exciting. Another, I don't know if we looked at that, but I have, you know, nightstands on either side that are the same. The lamps are from Kelly Wearstler. Oh, and then these are some of my favorite things. So somebody at work brought these to my attention. There's this guy whose name I don't remember, but I think if you Google Matchbox Diaries, but I'll link him below. He is a photographer and he photographs many things, but he also photographs old matchbooks. And if you look on his website, there are so many, but mostly from New York, Hamptons, Nantucket, like LA, Palm Beach, you know, a few other places. But so these are great because they all have meaning to me. So the 2 on the left are from Florida. The far left is Taboo, which is a restaurant in Palm Beach, and then next is the Colony Hotel, which is a hotel in Palm Beach where I've stayed with friends many times. The middle one is Gramercy Tavern, which is a restaurant here in New York that just has fun personal memories for me. And then Summer House, which is a place on Nantucket that I go to. And then lastly, the Beverly Hills Hotel, and you already know how I feel about that, based on the fact that I did my whole powder room to reminisce about that. And then this wallpaper is like, I just love, my room feels very soothing. And then lastly is my bathroom, like the main, you know, which is beautiful, but, you know, just white. Like lovely white tiles. Those mirrors are all cabinets. I'll say about these floating sinks, now these were all here. They look really nice, but I would prefer to have sinks that go all the way down so I had storage to the bottom, but c'est la vie. And I guess that concludes the apartment tour. Since I don't want to be on camera right now, I already like put a video together. I realized I didn't explain, I didn't talk about the process of buying this apartment, and I also would like to talk about the process of decorating it because I did use a designer and I loved her. So I want to tell you guys who she is. So we'll save that for another time. Thanks for watching. See you soon.